Hello again, everyone. Hi there, Witch Hazel again. I wanted to share with you today a fun trip I just had. I just got home. I went out to buy a couple of things. I got inspired yesterday or the day before. I was watching Molly's video, Molly of Her Speak. I was watching her video on grounding, and she mentioned tea, and there was a particular tea that sounded ooh so tasty to me, and that was this one, the Soothing Caramel Bedtime Tea. So I decided I wanted to go out and try it, so I went to buy this, and while I was at it I needed a couple of other things, namely lavender. I knew I was out of. I wanted to get that, and then I remembered while I was out I'm out of bay leaves as well. So I thought, since I went on kind of an herbal excursion, that I would talk a little bit about herbs and what they mean to me. Herbs are to me kind of like what Wicca was, or what paganism, witchcraft, etc. was growing up. Always kind of in the periphery, but not something that my family really focused on. I have noticed since I grew up, and I've been looking around at other people and how life works out for them, I think there was more emphasis on herbs in my family just from my own tradition of coming from a German background. My grandparents, when I visited my grandparents in Austria as a child, my grandfather was always very big into the healing benefits of different herbs and different plants. And he would try to point some out to my sister and I every now and again, and of course, being children, we didn't really pay attention. So hopefully I'll get a chance to visit again soon. It's been several years, and maybe I can get my grandfather to chat with me a little bit more about herbs. But there was always there were always things in the background. Things like when my sister or I, or my kid brother, when we would get a sore throat or a cough, first thing we'd go get Fenchelhonig, which is basically, it's a syrup. It's an herbed honey, and I know a big ingredient is fennel, obviously, fenchel, and anise, very tasty, that licorice taste to it. So it's an herbed honey, and we had that. Also, whenever my dad had, I don't know, sore muscles, there was this stuff, I can't remember what it was called, but it was an herbal rub, basically, that he would use. And of course, there was always talk of Swedish bitters when you had kind of an upset stomach, or not upset, but when you ate too much heavy stuff, then it was the bitters you needed. Or possibly schnapps, which my grandmother makes and has a great recipe. I tried my hand at it this past fall, and the ingredients she adds to that are fennel, anise, and cumin. And there you go. Put that all in with the schnapps. Very medicinal, very healing. So herbs for me today are a bit more important. I try to use them more or less in my everyday. I'm still working on that. For example, cooking with herbs. I don't have a lot of experience with it. So I might, if I remember, throw some thyme or rosemary onto some chicken and call it good. But I am trying to learn a little bit more about cooking with herbs. What I have used herbs for a lot is my hair care, hair and body care. So I have experimented with different rinses for my hair. For a long time I was using a cider vinegar rosemary hair rinse, which the only reason I'm not using it now is because I ran out of cider vinegar and I keep forgetting to pick it up at the market. But I use that for my hair. There are also other teas. I know I've used like a black tea, that one I didn't like too much, for my hair. Hibiscus, chamomile, you can use all sorts of different herbs for your hair, and they each have different properties. There is a good blog actually talking about minimalist beauty routines, where she has a good list of herbs and what their properties are for use in your hair care. and I will try to remember to put a link to that in the information about the video. Other things that I like to do with herbs, I like to make teas. I'm fairly new to this as well. I only started, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago making my own teas, because I realized here I am going out buying these boxes of teas, which are great, but if I look on the ingredients, I have most of them. So why don't I just mix something up myself? Or try different herbs and see if I like them by themselves. So I've been experimenting more with that. And a couple of teas that I really like, for one thing, hibiscus. Hibiscus goes with everything. Hibiscus, put a little citrus in there, it's great. Also, I went to the Museum of Nature and Science, and they had an iced tea kind of on tap that was hibiscus, myrtle, lemon. And theirs was done up more like it was a lemonade with some hibiscus tea in it. But I really like the sound of that, so I tried it and I love it. I made basically hibiscus, and I got myrtle leaves. Myrtle, my jar is in the cupboard, but myrtle is similar to bay leaf in its properties, and similar, almost similar scent. It's not quite as strong as bay, but so myrtle, hibiscus, and lemon peel I didn't have, but I added in a few drops of lemon oil, lemon essential oil, and it worked out fine. If you do that, if you use essential oils in your cooking, be careful which ones that you pick out. Make sure that they are just the essential oil, they don't have additives to them. For that reason, I like certain brands like Young Living, because they are very particular, they don't add fillers, and I know what's in there. I do the same with peppermint for green tea. I'll go over all these in a second, but gunpowder green tea with peppermint and sugar. There you have Moroccan green tea, and I really enjoy that one also. Most of the time I will have peppermint on hand. At the moment I don't, so I just substitute the essential oil. And another one that I have to thank Erick for, Erick Silvermoon, he suggested in one of his videos mugwort and lavender. Actually it was mugwort, lavender, and chamomile, but I'm not a huge chamomile fan. So I tried mugwort and lavender and absolutely adore it. I've been drinking a lot of that too. So thank you for that. Alright, those are some of the basic ways that I use herbs. In addition to making herbal oils, making herbal blends for use in ritual and magical work. Some of the things that I came home with today, which was my main purpose for this video, I wanted to show you all of the stuff that I bought. I went out for this tea, and lavender. I got those things. And lavender was actually a bit more expensive than I thought it would be. I went to the natural grocers down the street from me. I actually live a block and a half from a Whole Foods, but they're too expensive for me. I hardly ever shop there. And I don't really like their bulk section, and they don't have a whole lot of herbs actually. But natural grocers, if you have one nearby you, has a ton of stuff. So, and I really like their bulk herbs. So, lavender and tea. Other things that I got. I picked up one more tea, Egyptian licorice, because I am also a licorice fan, and Molly did also mention licorice, which was what got me thinking about it, so I picked up another tea. I also got some more gunpowder green tea. In general, I do not like black or green tea, but when I do this up, as mentioned, with the peppermint and the sugar, I really enjoy it, the Moroccan stuff. So I like that. Bay leaves. I am just about out of bay leaves. You'll recognize bay from my recipes for my winter nights incense. I included it in my, this I may not have mentioned, but I included it as well in my ancestor oil, anointing oil for my candle, my hearth candle. and I use bay leaves a lot in cooking. I love to make stews, so I always toss in a handful of bay leaves. Bay makes everything better. Then I got, of course, hibiscus flowers because I went through my hibiscus really fast and I have been wanting to get more hibiscus. So this again is marvelous as a tea and also good if you use it as a hair rinse. It'll give a nice red tint to your hair, which in the past I have enjoyed doing henna for my hair, but I don't do that quite as often anymore. My hair is pretty long, so it takes forever to grow out. So if I don't like it, I'm kind of stuck. Two things that are a bit new for me: chicory root, roasted chicory root. I wanted to try this because I know it's in many of the coffee alternate teas. And I am trying to reduce my intake of coffee. I love coffee. But I was never actually a coffee drinker until I got engaged. My ex-fiance had to have a huge cup of coffee every day. And my father also is a big coffee drinker, but I have noticed that coffee just dehydrates the heck out of me. So even though I love it, I'm trying to limit how much I take in. And I haven't decided what I'm going to use this for yet, but I decided it would be good to have around. Burdock root. Also picked up some burdock root. Same with horehound. Horehound is also used in a lot of different medicinal applications, teas, tinctures, compresses, so I thought horehound would be also very good to keep. And lastly, marshmallow root. Marshmallow root is something I have been looking for my hair. This, if I remember correctly, is more of a, what's that? Mucilage? I'm probably making up words. But basically, it will make your hair soft. Basically, it'll help it keep hydrated. It's not a humectant like honey. Honey is a humectant, but this one is more of a, I think, aloe, slippery elm bark, the kind of, I'm thinking mucus, and that's not a good word to use here. But the slippery, the coating that will make your hair glossy, soft, etc. That's what marshmallow root is good for. And it's also good, again, for medicinal applications. So I wanted to have some of that around too. I did not get around to making most of the wintertime care stuff that I wanted to do. I wanted to make a couple of syrups and some tinctures as well, but I was lazy, I didn't get around to it, so maybe I make them now in the springtime, almost springtime, and I'll just have them on hand for next winter. But okay, that was my rant. Really, I just wanted to share with you, I went overboard on buying herbs. Oh, pricing. This is another reason I love natural grocers. Because, and many people, I've seen a lot on YouTube, many folks and blogs as well, will use mountain rose herbs. I love them. I adore mountain rose herbs. But many of the things that I would otherwise buy from them is available down the street. So I figure, why pay for shipping and have to wait on it if I can just go down to the corner. So mountain rose herbs is also good. I also really enjoy From Nature with Love. And what I can get there that I can't get at Mountain Rose are things like the Ayurvedic herbs, the Indian herbs, which also have a lot of good options if you use herbs in your hair care. The Retha, Neem, Shikake, all of those. All of those are wonderful for skin and hair care. So that's mainly what I look for there. Alright, I hope you enjoyed my little bunch of herbs and that you come back soon because I have a few more videos in the offing. Have a great day and talk to you soon. Bye.